Hi, welcome to the second video for Carats Cents. My name is Adeel. We're going to start talking about the 4C's that were first invented by the GIA and now are pretty much universally accepted around the world on grading and understanding and differentiating the diamonds that are in the marketplace. Some of them can be used for some of the other color stones, but we'll get into that later. Today we're going to talk about cut. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to cover all the 4C's, and we're going to do it in like 3 or 4 minute chunks. So within 12 to 15 minutes, you should get a pretty good idea on what you need to look for when you go to a jeweler such as myself. So by cut, I mean the dimensions of a diamond, not the shapes. Though cut can mean shapes, and these are some common. You got your round, Asher, emerald, oval, marquee, pear, your radiant, princess, heart, and then there's tons of other shapes that the GIA grades and that I've seen. You can pretty much fashion a diamond and polish it into whatever shape you want. But these are the more common ones. What I mean is the actual angles and dimensions of a diamond, and we'll get to that in a second. Brightness, scintillation, and fire are really the way that a diamond interacts with you. So brightness is the amount of light that comes right back at you. Scintillation is like that sparkle when either the diamond moves or you move. And fire is the dispersion of rainbow colors you see, the reds, the yellows, greens, blues, and so forth, in a diamond. And is a direct result of how the diamond is cut. You can have a great rare diamond, but it can be cut very poorly, and it just will not live up to some of the other characteristics that it should. So the 5 categories that the GIA has put into place are excellent, very good, good, fair, and poor. And essentially, those are your 5 categories, and you want to stay in the, I would say, the good, very good, and excellent range. Try not to go below the good. The fair and the poor, you're probably not going to get your money's worth if you were to spend. We don't actually sell anything less than good from a cut standpoint. In fact, most of our stuff is very good or excellent rated if it's a certified stone. Good is pretty rare as well. But let's talk a little bit about that. Essentially, here's the shape of a diamond, all right? And what you want is on a perfectly or an excellent cut diamond, the light will come in, marked with a black, bounce off certain angles, and come back out, okay? So if you have a poorly cut diamond, the chances are, and if you think of it like an ice cream cone, either it's too shallow, too deep, or the ice cream part is too high or too low, or the middle part's too thick, or there's a couple of different ways to look at it. But essentially, either the light's going to come out the bottom or it's going to come out the side, but it's not going to come out the way it's supposed to up at the face-up position. So when we're looking at cut as a jeweler, okay, when we evaluate, and this is usually done on the bigger, like ½ carat plus diamonds or so, we're looking at a ton of stuff here. We're looking at crown angle, how high and low that is, pavilion depth. We're looking at how big or small the table is, which is the largest facet on the diamond. Again, how big is the diameter, the thickness of the girdle. You got a lot of weight issues there if you got a real thick girdle, and then how deep it is. If it has a culet, which is the point on a diamond, or the lack thereof. Sometimes you don't have a culet, and that's not a bad thing. But anyway, these are all the dimensions we have to evaluate just from a angle number standpoint. Then we have to look at symmetry, all the points lining up. Is a table high, low? Is it not centered properly? Polish. Are there things that when they were polishing up or buffing up the diamond that weren't usually supposed to be? So all that stuff is evaluated, and it's graded with literally 2 lines on a report. But you want to understand that you could have a perfect diamond from a clarity and a color standpoint, and when I mean by perfect, I mean rare. You would have a D color, or you would have a internally flawless diamond. But if it isn't cut right, then you're literally going to be wasting your money for the most part. And in fact, like I said, I do not recommend purchasing any diamonds that are graded as fair or poor, and that's a personal decision. That's not one that I is for everybody, but from our clients. And most of our clients are actually jewelers themselves, so they come in and they expect a certain level. But anyway, that's the cut aspect of the one of the 4C's, and probably the one that takes the greatest amount of time, is understood the least, and can have the most impact on your diamond. So if you've got a certain diamond, look at the diamond on the report, and make sure it either says GVG or EX on most of those. A GG diamond is a good polish, good symmetry, good cut diamond. That's good. Obviously there are 2 grades better than that, but it is difficult to cut a diamond perfectly, and it greatly depends on how the rough comes in as well. There's only so much a cutter can do, or wholesale. So that's that installment. The next installment, we'll talk a little bit about color, but again, I promised I'd keep these videos short. Take care.